Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we are reacting to a TikTok. Definitely a bit of a different speed than I typically react to, but an important one to hear nonetheless. I know this girl is an acquired taste. I personally think that she is absolutely hilarious. I know not all of you will like her, but regardless, she is telling a brutal truth here that I think women could really benefit from hearing. And even in the comment section of this video, it was like, thank you, I needed to hear this. Like, sometimes we need tough love. Sometimes we need someone to be no BS, straight to the point, blunt, and to bring us back down to earth. And that's what she does here. So this is her response to someone writing into her. So let's give it a watch.
My boyfriend never buys me flowers because he thinks it's a waste of money because they die. Okay, it's a girl, her name starts with B. But I think having flowers is so nice, and I don't want to buy them for myself because I think it's kind of cringe. He does buy me other things, and he does a lot for me, so that's not really the issue, but I just think it's so romantic to be surprised with flowers every once in a while. Okay, he does everything else for you, but you're hinging on the flowers. What an ungrateful little bitch. Like, who cares, okay? So buy yourself flowers. You're telling me that he does other things for you? What did you say? He does a lot for me, and he buys me other things. So you're gonna say the one thing he doesn't do, you're gonna be so upset about? Bitch, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? Like, not everyone's perfect. You're probably lucky he's with you. He's gonna fucking leave your ass if you don't shut up. You're annoying. I told him this, but I don't want too much pressure. I told him this, but I don't want to pressure him too much. What do you think? I love you, I really value your opinion. Okay, and don't show my name, okay. Yeah. You're dumb, okay, and you're stupid. It's not a big of a fucking deal. It's flowers, okay? He does other things for you, and you're lucky he's with you because you sound very annoying, okay? You sound like a very annoying girl. So he does a lot for you. He doesn't buy you flowers. Like, who cares?
That is the definition of a brutal truth. But again, I think it's something that a lot of people need to hear. Now, I have a bit of a different approach. I will say things more gracefully, more respectfully. That's just how I do things, okay? But that hits different. Let's be honest. The first thing I want to talk about is fixating on the negatives. I think we do this far too much. As a woman, I will even just be so honest and say we do this too much. He does everything else for you, but you're fixating on the one thing that he doesn't. Nobody is perfect. No one can possibly live up to the standards and expectations or the fairy tale that you create in your mind, okay? No one is perfect. If the one thing he doesn't do for you is get you flowers, I think you're doing okay. If he does everything else for you, buys you other stuff, but doesn't get you flowers, I think you're gonna survive. Like, I think you can do it, girlfriend. It's okay. When she said he's going to leave you if you don't shut up, you're annoying. But really, I kind of agree. I think we get very fixated on the negatives instead of focusing on the positives and the things that someone does do for us. And I think this is something that is missing in so many long-term relationships, and ultimately, I think leads to the relationship falling apart because we fail to acknowledge the things that we're actually doing for each other and the positives within the relationship because we get so fixated on what's not going well, what someone's not doing for us, and the negatives. Now, sometimes it is important to look at the negatives because they're a big enough deal to break up with someone, right? There are things that should not be happening in relationships. But someone not buying you flowers, I wouldn't consider that to be one of them. In the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of life, is it really that important that your boyfriend buys you flowers if he does a ton of other stuff for you and buys you other things? No, there are literally people dying. Okay, it's like the Kardashian episode when Kim loses her earring and she's like so upset and Courtney's like, Kim, there are literally people dying. There are people dying. I think you'll be okay. But really, we need to stop fixating on crap that doesn't actually matter. The economy is rough these days, okay? And I also want to say this. If it's not the flowers, it's something else. My concern here is that we want more and more and more, and it's never enough. He buys you other things, he does so much other stuff for you, but it's still not enough because he doesn't get the flowers. When will it be enough? When will it be enough? When he gets you the flowers, will you then find something else to fixate on that he doesn't do? Probably, because that is what we do. And I also have a question that I want to ask all of you who are watching. Do you think that this mentality would be as prominent as it is if social media didn't exist? Because I don't think it would. I think we are constantly comparing our lives and relationships to strangers that we see online and thinking that, oh, they have that, I deserve that. Oh, her boyfriend bought her a Chanel bag. Oh, well, I want a Chanel bag. I want my boyfriend to buy me a Chanel bag. Oh, her boyfriend bought her flowers. I want my boyfriend to buy me flowers. Even though he probably does a lot of other wonderful things for you. I will be so transparent here and tell you, I've even found myself, if I spend too much time online, when I am chronically online, I start to play the comparison game. And it's almost like you start to forget all the things that someone does for you because you're looking at so many things that they don't. Comparison is the thief of joy. I have experienced this firsthand. You've got to check yourself and recognize when it's happening to you. Luckily, I'm able to pick up on when it's happening and I snap myself out of that. I get offline, I go hug my husband, and I thank him for the things he does for me. We've got to stop playing the comparison game. You will always be unhappy and unsatisfied and disappointed if you continue to do this. My point is that we need to practice gratitude and appreciation for the things that people do for us. And also consider, what are we doing for them? Your boyfriend probably wants you to be doing a lot of things that you're not doing. But you don't see him writing into some lady about it. Be the partner you seek. If you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. Now, I also want to share two different perspectives because that's what I do here. The first one being, in the little thing she said he thinks that flowers are a waste of money because they die. And, there's truth in that. They do die. I can totally get that perspective, but she likes them, right? It is a nice gesture to do things that your partner likes and that makes them feel special. If they explicitly say to you, I feel really special when we spend time together before bed and we talk. Or I feel special when you communicate to me what your plans are so that I know what's going on. Or I feel really special when you surprise me with flowers. We're all into different things. The motivation behind it's different as well, and whether it's realistic or not, it's a different story. But I want to offer a different perspective because I think this is important in relationships as well, that you should keep dating your partner. You should do things that make them feel special. You should want to make them feel loved and appreciated. And we feel love and appreciation in different ways. Some people feel loved and appreciated when you empty the dishwasher. Some people feel loved and appreciated when you buy them a gift. Some people feel loved and appreciated when you give them a compliment, okay? So I think it's important to acknowledge that and really try to be mindful of it when you're in a relationship. Don't let yourself go. Don't let yourself get complacent. We should continue to appreciate our partners and show affirmation and show gratitude and make them feel special. I think it's important. I'm sure a lot of you guys like things that your girlfriend or wife doesn't like and probably thinks is a waste of money, but they do it anyway. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. I've told you guys this before, but a lot of times when I go to the store by myself, I'll buy my husband gum. Is that a waste of money? Well, not to me because he likes it. Is he gonna chew it up and spit it out and it's gone? Yeah. Are you gonna buy flowers, have them on your counter for a week and they'll die? Yeah. But they like it. And that makes me feel good that I'm doing something for him that he likes. And I also need to mention that he likes the fancy gum without all the crazy chemicals, so it legitimately costs the same as a bouquet from Trader Joe's before you all come at me for saying, well, flowers are more expensive than gum. It's just an example. Okay, don't get your panties in a bunch. You can get a stem of flowers at Trader Joe's for $4.99, and that's all it takes to make someone feel special. Okay, so that's one perspective. A lot of you aren't gonna like that, but I think it's important to share both sides of the equation. But on the other side of the equation, I buy myself flowers almost every week. It is not cringe to buy them for yourself. If you want them that bad, buy it yourself. So again, I see both sides. I think it's important to see both sides. But I think ultimately what it really comes down to is your partner a good partner? Is your husband or boyfriend a good husband? Is your girlfriend or wife a good wife? If they buy you flowers or not does not determine if they are or they aren't. That's not a determining factor. I'm sorry, I hate to burst bubbles, I hate to crush dreams, but it's not. What actually matters is respect, aligned values and life goals, having empathy, effective communication, showing appreciation for each other, acknowledging the things that you do well in your relationship, giving each other encouragement and support. These are things that make someone a good partner. Now, is someone buying you flowers a nice gesture? Absolutely it is. I think it's so sweet and so nice to make your partner feel special, but it's not a necessity for a healthy relationship. Let's really come back down to earth. It's a bit difficult to have sympathy for someone not getting the flowers they want when there are so many horrific things happening in the world. I think you'll be okay. I think we'll be okay, okay? And what I want you to take away from this video, my point of this whole thing, is that we should really try to spend more time focusing on what we do have rather than what we don't, and what someone does do for us versus what they don't, and the positives versus the negatives. Because this is how you cultivate happiness, by being grateful, by being thankful, by showing appreciation and gratitude. If you are always looking at what you don't have, if you're always focused on the next best thing, if you're always chasing something that you don't have, or you're not acknowledging what you do have, you will never be happy. You will always be dissatisfied. You will always be disappointed, and you will never be happy. Wanting more, never being satisfied, it's not healthy. And again, transparently here, I've even fallen into this too. It's very easy to do. It's always, what's next? I want more. This isn't enough. What's the next thing? You have got to start appreciating what you have. And in your relationships, really acknowledging what your partner actually does for you. Because if you write it down, or you really sit down to think about it, it's probably far more than you realize. And if it's not, well, then maybe that's an issue. But whether or not they buy you flowers should not be the determining factor. I'm going to stop it here before I continue to ramble. That's all I have for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. Again, I know this lady is an acquired taste, but I think nonetheless, at the end of the day, this is a brutal truth that so many people need to hear. And there's always a bit of wisdom to be extracted from even, the most outlandish video. So again, I always try to do my best to show both sides of what's going on here, and just bring us back down to earth a little bit. So I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you have any personal stories or experiences that relate to the video, share those down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.